There are two main reasons why you should play more hands when you are in position. 1. You get more information because you act after your opponents and can guess what they have from their actions, so you can act accordingly, either by saving money when you have a bad hand or winning more money when you have a better hand. 2. It is a lot easier to play a flush or a straight draw. Let's have a look at the first reason. You get more information and can guess what your opponents have from their actions, and therefore you can act accordingly, either by saving money when you have a bad hand or winning more money when you have a better hand. This concept is illustrated by an example of a real money game I played in. 9 players started this game. On the internet, every poker player can choose a unique poker nickname. My poker nickname is Vega Lion. As you can see, the first 3 players folded to me, and I raised to $150 with ace-ace. The next 5 players called, and we saw the flop which read 3-7 Jack. Player ILL is the first to act and bet $450. Player Thorladen is next to act and folded. It is now my turn. Thinking my pair of aces is still probably good here, I called the $450 bet. However, player Katru raised to $1,750. Everyone, i.e. Mofiurka, Bubba Meg and ILL, folds to me, and I also folded my hand. No one is ever bluffing in a 6-player pot on the flop, since it's very likely that someone has got something strong. Bluffing is just suicidal. When Katru raised, I expected him to have a very strong hand with respect to this board, which would sometimes be top 2 pairs and, more likely, a 3 of a kind. So it was an easy fold for me. If in this game I was acting after Katru and had seen ILL bet $450 and seen Katru raised to $1,750, I would have just folded my pair of aces, knowing that Katru definitely had a better hand than mine. That would have saved me $450. Let's look at another example. This is a 4-player game where the blind was $510. I raised to $40 with King Jack. Poker Jello folded. Sidi Ali called, and Slava folded. On this flop of 6-7 Jack, Sidi Ali is the first to act. He checked first. I bet with my top pair, and he called. My read on him now is that he either has a flush or a straight draw, or he might have a 7 for the middle pair or a 6 for the bottom pair. The turn was a 6. Again he checked to me. I was a bit worried that following my read on the flop, he might have a 6, which would form a very strong hand, a 3 of a kind. However, since he had to act first, and he checked, that indicates to me that his hand is not very strong, and probably he does not have a 6. So I would still bet here, expecting him to call with worse hands, such as a 7 for the middle pair, or a flush, or a straight draw. If he raises, I would fold, since that would most likely mean he had a very strong hand, such as a 3 of a kind. Sidi Ali called my $120 bet. The river card is a bad card, a 3 of clubs. If he had a straight draw, with a hand such as 4-5, he would have made a straight 3-4-5-6-7. If he had 2 clubs in his hand, for a flush draw on the flop, now he would have made a flush. However, he checked again, which indicates weakness. With my top pair, there were so many hands that could beat me, such as a flush, or a straight, or a 3 of a kind. But because my opponent acts first in every betting round, I can guess his hand strength quite well. Therefore, I know my top pair is still the better hand, and I bet $180 here, expecting to be called by worse. He called and showed 8-8 for a worse hand and lost the pot to me. It should be noted that if I had been the first player to act, on the river round, I would not have been able to guess that my opponent's hand was not so strong, because I would not have seen him checking first. Without that information, I would not have bet on the river, and therefore would not have won that extra $180.